The answer to what Israel represents for me fluctuates all the time for me. But these days, I think I see it connected somehow with a crisis that has to do a lot with the history of modernism.
What Israel represents for me, it's let's say the dream, and it's in Hebrew we say chalom v'shivro, the dream and its break. Let's say my parents lived the dream. They were dreaming about the state of Israel. They were active in the building of the state of Israel. And they dreamed about a different Israel, which is today. And I was born into the beginning of the dream, and now it's the break.
But Israel for me today, it's the biggest Jewish ghetto in the world, unfortunately. And this is because of the Zionism. And I want to make Israel a normal place. A place that will belong to all of the people that live inside Israel. And I don't care if they are Jews, Muslims, Christians. I don't care about their origin. I just care that if they are here, they deserve a good life.
The state of Israel was born as the result of a long effort of the Zionist movement. Now, the Zionist movement was, in effect, created as let's say, an artificial or a deliberate attempt to create a Jewish nationality. But that in itself entails some sort of paradox, because nationalities as such were or are usually related to language, land, and let's say local history.
So about my identity, I'm here, but I want to be able to be here, to belong to the Middle East, not only to belong to Israel.
The definition of nationality of Zionism was inevitably established on Judaism, which is a religion. It's a religious, or it's a religious identity. It has to do with religious, or had to do with religious practices and ways of life.
The main reason of the conflict is continuing. That people are racist. People see, and I'm speaking mainly now about my people, the Israelis. The Israelis, they are seeing themselves as the ultimate victims of the conflict. They are not able to see the other side. They are not able to put themselves in the Palestinians' place. They don't able to think about the situation from a Palestinian eyes.
Many Israelis think that the checkpoints are between Israel and Palestine. Talk here with people. I know that of the first time I came, I just wanted to go and shake people and say, hey, come, you have 5 minutes, come, I want to show you something. I was so naive that I thought if I will show it to the people, it will stop. They will be against it, because how can you accept it? It took me a while to understand, first of all, that the Israelis don't want to see it. Most of the people don't want. And not only that they don't want to see it because their heart is too soft and they will not be able to overcome this sorrow, they think it's good. I'd rather have them suffer, but I don't want to have bombs here, which is a very complicated issue, of course. And I must say, I'm born here. I'm Israeli, and I grew up with this fear against Arabs, which we get here from the air. Nobody is educating us to really love our neighbor, and we grow up here with fear against Arab, and they want to throw us to the sea, and they're our enemies, and we can't trust them. This is the main voice.
I think the way I feel it, I'm pretty much stuck here at the moment. I must say that I don't feel I belong to this country, and I don't identify with the thing that unites the people here. And I completely resent the political context and connotation. And living in Jerusalem, which I do, I find the traces of that in a lot of aspects in everyday life. The self-perception of Israelis is that they are not part of this Arab area?
I am born here, as I said, I'm second generation here. My grandfather came as a child with his father, so I really belong here. My roots are here, and still I'm a little bit a foreigner because I disagree with a lot which is going on here, and I belong to a very, very small minority, and it's shown in my works.
It's not normal that we will live in such a ghettos, and the wall that Israel is building now, this is the most crazy thing. This is taking us 60 years back, that Jews live behind walls in ghettos. This is maybe sounds very, very bad to many people.
Earlier, before both intifadas, before '87, there were many Palestinians. They were our workers. They were cleaning the streets. They were washing the dishes in the restaurants. So you had Arabs around. They were not your friends. They were works, but it was more open, building houses, all kind of works, which today we have Chinese and Philippines and...
The fact that Israel is perceived in its neighboring countries as a foreign entity within the Middle East, and the fact that it retains its connection and identity as a Western country means that on the level of identity there is a certain gap between its surrounding neighbors, its wider local context, and its own self-identity.